Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
We're just a couple of wild and crazy kids in love. We love some Wild Card Wednesdays.
It's Wild Card Wednesday!
Yeah, and so for this Wild Card Wednesday, we're checking out every monster explained in chapters 1 through 3 of Poppy Playtime by the channel Super Horror Bro. And so, yeah.
Okay, good name.
So, yeah, for sure. A channel we haven't checked out before, but I've gotten a lot of video recommendations for stuff to react to from this channel. So looking forward to that. And we checked out some trailers from Poppy Playtime, but other than that, don't know much about it.
Yeah.
And it's Wild Card Wednesday because our community votes on a video for us to react to. And so if you want to go ahead and check out the poll for next week, go to our community tab. We got our poll up there right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready? Do that.
Ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video, we take a look at each of the monstrous toy experiments found in Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 and 2. This rundown will incorporate everything we know about these mysterious entities, their appearances in the game, and even some secrets and Easter eggs associated with them. Bear in mind we will only be looking at hostile enemy encounters, so creatures like Kissy Missy and the prototype will not be included, as they have so far only been briefly teased in the story of the game. I'm sure we'll cover them in a future video as more chapters emerge from the production line. I have also made theories on both of these characters if you wish to check out my in-depth thoughts on them. With that said, sit back, relax, and let's take a look at the monsters of Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 and 2.
Huggy Wuggy. What's a bear?
Huggy Wuggy is one of the most iconic creations to come out of a world-famous Playtime Co. toy factory. A smiling blue mascot with googly eyes and long arms and legs. Huggy was first created in the year 1984 and went on to become a household name just like Poppy Playtime had years earlier. The original concept behind Huggy Wuggy, as its name suggests, was to hug children back, making them feel loved even if their parents weren't around. He even had a catchy theme song which can be heard when interacting with this informational board.
Creepy. Squeeze you until you pop.
However, as with other toys on this list, things took a dark turn when Playtime Co. began conducting secret human experimentation in a bid to bring toys like Huggy to life. The result being disturbing, feral versions of these toys with a life of their own. We see signs of this human experimentation when examining Huggy's mouth, where we find two sets of teeth, one animal and the other eerily human. Huggy was experiment 1170, and as described by this scientist, was the most obedient of the experiments at the time of recording this audio log.
Experiment 1170, Huggy Wuggy.
Just now, every time I hear an audio log, I think of South Park.
Intelligence paired with maximum obedience.
Why did I have time to make this audio log?
This didn't stop Huggy Wuggy going on a kill crazy rampage and trying to hug our protagonist to death shortly after entering the abandoned factory. This culminating in a tense and anxiety-inducing race for our lives through the vents of the factory production line.
Alien chasing you. Well, if the xenomorph catches you, you're dead.
Well, I don't think that this guy's just going to give you a gentle hug.
He's a Huggy Wuggy. He's going to hug you. And wug you.
At the end of his chase, it seems Huggy Wuggy met his demise after we drop a giant crate on top of him, sending the bloodthirsty blue mascot hurtling into the depths of the facility, leaving a bloody trail in his wake. However, the plot thickens when we examine this wall in Chapter 2. You'll notice how the pipes and brickwork seem to be covered in blood splatter and clumps of thick blue hair. It seems as though this hair and blood belongs to a still very much alive Huggy Wuggy, who somehow managed to survive the colossal fall into the abyss and crawl back into the vent system to heal up. Meaning it is likely we will encounter him again in a future chapter, in an even more enraged and hostile frame of mind than before.
And all bloodied up.
Now before moving on to our next monster, it is worth mentioning the mini Huggies who appear during the Wacka Wuggy side quest in Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. These small plush-sized variants known as Huggy Buddies are very much alive and out for blood. We must use the giant hands of our grab pack to whack these smaller Huggy variants as they appear from 18 holes located around this room. These Huggies come in a variety of different colours and make some disturbing noises moments before they strike. Bunzo Bunny is one of several experiments used in the game station as part of the Orphan Initiative, where children adopted by Playtime co-employees were subjected to a series of tests aimed at gauging intelligence, reflex, and strength. Bunzo is yellow in colour, with black eyes and buck teeth as you might expect a rabbit to have.
Also sharp.
He wears a party hat and green dungarees, clashing a pair of cymbals loudly together as he lowers down from a tube in the ceiling toward the player of his game. Bunzo Bunny's game is called Musical Memory, whereby participants are tasked with memorizing colours and symbols as they flash up in quick succession, and then punch them back in using a selection of buttons.
Green lights, violet, blue. Green lights, violet, blue, violet. Lights, violet, blue, violet, orange.
If the player isn't fast enough or their memory
Simon
fails
Says,
them, then Bunzo attacks from above.
Oh.
An interesting and slightly creepy Easter egg is associated with Bunzo Bunny. Once leaving the musical memory test chamber, we hear a loud crashing sound and the flailing of Bunzo's cymbals. This indicates that Mommy Longlegs, who we'll discuss very soon, was enraged at Bunzo's failure to kill the player, and so murdered him in a frenzied rage as a result. When returning to the game station, we can now see Bunzo's lifeless corpse strung up high in the rafters above. Perhaps then we should end on a slightly more upbeat note. Bunzo has a cardboard cutout located just before entering the musical memory arena. Unlike many of the other cutouts, this one doesn't seem to contain any creepy messages. Rather, it gives us a glimpse into Bunzo's personality, which seems friendly and upbeat. He enjoyed celebrating the birthdays of the children who visited the factory. Take a listen.
I know when your birthday is. June 28th. Make a wish.
Still sounds creepy.
Happy birthday.
You filthy animal.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, happy, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Part cute dog, part horrifying bug, PJ Pugapilla, as the name suggests, is a bright blue dog slash caterpillar hybrid with a body 100 feet long and many legs which slowly carry him around a playground-themed area for his minigame, Statues. In Statues, we must stand still whenever the music stops and the lights turn on, and then move forward under the cover of darkness. Failure to do so results in PJ attacking and eating our hapless hero alive. PJ Pugapilla was originally designed as part of the Swap-A-More's toy line, a series of toys that included Catbee, where parts could be swapped around as the user desired. Now he's swapped his calm and lovable demeanor for that of a bloodthirsty killing machine, though one who only attacks if we fail to abide by the rules of his game. We find this cutout of PJ just before entering the playground area to play the game's statues. When the button is pressed, the following audio is spoken.
Do you want to play with PJ? Caterpillar or Pug?
Sounds like Scooby.
I'm crawling on all 400s. I'm hungry for some delicious bones.
That
Do
really
you
sounds
have
like
some bones for PJ?
Farting? Nice. Mommy long legs.
Last, but by no means least, is stretchy arachnid nightmare fuel Mommy Longlegs. Originally released by Playtime Co. in the year 1991, using their new patented stretchy elastic, Mommy Longlegs was the most flexible toy ever created. Her lower body is pink and circular, from which a torso sprouts. Gloved hands and feet attach to long, bendy limbs. Her hair is long and squiggly, and her eyes and mouth big and wide. It seems the original Mommy design went through several iterations, as we see detailed on this
Too freaky for
document
target
here
demographic.
while exploring the warehouse. It seems these scrapped designs may have been in part used to create her family, which consisted of a child and husband character as seen on this poster art. Here are a few quick facts about Mommy's creation in the game. She is voiced by actress Elise Lovelock. Her appearance changed quite drastically from the original teaser trailer released in February 2022 and her final form found in Chapter 2, which released in May. Finally, it seems Mommy Longlegs was based on the appearance of a popular 90s children's toy, Betty Spaghetti. Mommy's living version was created from a human test subject known as Marie Payne. So far, the only human test subject confirmed by name to be used in the process of creating one of these monstrous experiments. Mommy Longlegs is also confirmed to be Experiment 1222. We learn from notes located in the game station area that Mommy Longlegs was extremely hostile towards adults, but friendly and maternal around the orphan children. Therefore, in order to suppress her murderous desires, Mommy was allowed to mix with the children during their testing on a daily basis, with scientists and researchers watching from the safety of a catwalk above. Over time, she formed a close bond with the children and mourned them when they would mysteriously disappear after testing ended. When we first meet Mommy Longlegs, she seems quite friendly, wishing for us to partake in the very games the child test subjects once did.
Isn't this exciting, Poppy? Very exciting, Mommy.
I can see your lips moving.
We make a game out of it. The game station is still working. It will be just like old times.
However, this facade soon fades as Mommy grows more and more frustrated with our winning streak, eventually revealing that she is aware we used to work at Playtime Co. ourselves.
It was always so sad to see the kids go. They called me Mommy because I was the closest thing they ever had to one. But they come for games and never come back. They left Mommy to die alone. Mommy didn't deserve that. But you worked here. So if anyone deserves to die alone, it's you.
This culminates in a final confrontation with Mommy, where she turns feral and chases us through the depths of a Playtime factory. Here is her chase sequence in full for your enjoyment.
Just gonna be right behind you.
After seemingly escaping Mommy Longlegs, she shows back up one last time, and while in her frenzied state, accidentally collides with a grinding machine, her hand becoming trapped inside it.
Oh no.
We have no option but to flip the switch and watch her painful demise.
Well, you were trying to kill us, so. Hello?
After her death, Mommy is claimed by the mysterious prototype entity, and for a detailed analysis of this experiment and a theory all about it, check out this video. I'll leave a link at the end of this one. Speaking of which, we have indeed reached the end of today's video, and a look at each of the monsters encountered in Poppy Playtime thus far. I hope you found this video both entertaining and informative, and if you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more horror-related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.
Just coming up right now.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video, we explore the lore of each and every monster found in Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. The third installment in Toy Terror from developer Mob Entertainment introduced us to monstrous creations of Playtime Co., both new and old, and this video will take an in-depth look at each of these abominable experiments one by one. So sit back, relax, and let's run down a list of the horrors awaiting us in the darkest recesses of the
We can shoot things with our
playcare.
finger?
Huggy Wuggy again? He's back.
Huggy Wuggy was once a beloved mascot of Playtime Co., the poster child for the company. We first encountered Huggy during the events of Chapter 1, where we met him standing in the factory lobby before eventually being stalked throughout the facility. Huggy was created in 1984 and became the company's biggest success story to date. Later, when the scientists at Playtime Co. began using human test subjects to create living toys as part of the Bigger Bodies initiative, a living version of Huggy Wuggy was born. Like the other toy experiments, this living version of Huggy became influenced by the mysterious entity known as the prototype, and went on a kill-crazy rampage during the Hour of Joy, where the toys eventually turned on their human creators. In fact, we also learned from a VHS tape released on the Mob Entertainment YouTube account that Huggy Wuggy escaped the Playtime factory on June 18th, 1992, killing several members of Playtime in the process. Huggy was retrieved standing outside a house in a suburban neighborhood. It has been theorized that this was where the child now trapped inside this bigger body once lived. Huggy, under instructions from the prototype, initially helps our protagonist, providing them with a key that helps them gain entry into the depths of the factory. By the chapter's conclusion, Huggy gives chase and hunts the player through the claustrophobic confines of the ventilation system. We are able to narrowly escape and use a storage container to knock Huggy from a walkway, sending the Blue Terror tumbling to his death shortly after. While we do not encounter Huggy in Chapter 2, we do happen upon a wall covered in blood and his signature blue fur. This suggesting that either Huggy survived his fall and managed to crawl into this vent to recover, or that the prototype retrieved Huggy's body and collected him up to assimilate into his being,
That's probably more
much
likely.
in the same way as we saw with Mommy Longlegs. We also encounter mini Huggies during a test sequence in the game station, known as Wacka Wuggy. These also seem to be a living version of Huggy, containing the consciousness of human test subjects, who were once orphan children under the care of a Playtime company. Now they exist as these little blue mascots with a taste for blood. In Chapter 3, we meet a nightmarish version of Huggy, during a sequence where the player hallucinates after inhaling a large dosage of red smoke. Huggy crawls from the screen of his television and gives chase during a terrifying nightmare sequence. There are also several cutouts of Huggy. One is found in Chapter 2 and the second in Chapter 3. Check them out.
Does someone need a hug? a big squeeze. I promise I won't bite. Come closer, friend. I'll squeeze you until you... Hug a day keeps the monsters away. 2 hugs a day is better in every way. Hugging forever. Hugs are non-stop. I'm gonna hug you until you pop.
Whether the real Huggy lives on or not is up for debate. But what do you think?
Oh, he doesn't actually appear in that?
Well, no, that nightmare sequence, you're hallucinating.
Oh, okay, okay,
So,
so
like,
that's why he's one of the
feminine
monsters there.
version
Okay.
of
Yeah.
Huggy Wuggy, with pink fur rather than blue, and big batting eyelashes. However, unlike Huggy, Kissy is an ally to our protagonist, thanks to Poppy, who ensures she does not attack our hapless hero.
Thanks, Poppy.
No! Let go! They didn't do anything wrong. We're actually here to help.
It also seems that Poppy and Kissy are friends, and connected in some way. Perhaps they were once friends as children, before becoming part of a bigger body experiment program. Kissy did, at one point in time, appear to be under the control of the prototype. During the Hour of Joy, and in this VHS labelled Restricted, dated August 8th, 1995, we witnessed Kissy attacking Playtime co-workers who were transporting her on a cargo train below the factory. An attack that took place during the Hour of Joy. It seems with Kissy now under the influence of Poppy, the two are working together to try and stop the prototype once and for all. It is unclear why she is no longer bound to serve the prototype, but maybe Poppy simply had a kind and calming influence over the poor creature. We first encounter Kissy on this poster during the events of Chapter 1, and then in Chapter 2, discover a cutout of her within the game station, with the following lines of dialogue.
Preparing for departure in 3, 2, 1. Choo-choo!
Aw. Okay, you're getting really into it.
Tickets, please! Tickets!
What was it?
Tickets?
Her name is Kissy Missy. Be safe and have fun!
Two shakes of it. She fart?
Later in Chapter 2, we encounter Kissy in person for the first time. She ominously emerges from a corridor in the cart tunnels, but as she approaches, we discover she is non-hostile and helps the player by opening this gate, before disappearing into the darkness once more. Then, in Chapter 3, we find Kissy sitting on a bed within the Home Sweet Home orphanage, where she stares longingly at a picture of a little girl. There are two ways to interpret this particular scene. The first is to assume that the girl in this photograph was an orphan child living within the playcare, one that Kissy had a bond with before the events that went down during the Hour of Joy. Evidence to support this can be seen with childlike drawings of Kissy and a little girl on the wall here. The other way to read this scene is to conclude that the girl in this picture was Kissy, the child she used to be, before being used as part of a bigger body initiative and transformed into this living version of Kissy. There's no way to know for sure, so what do you think? At the end of Chapter 3, Kissy helps Poppy and the protagonist onto an elevated platform, and then pulls a lever to lower them into the depths of a laboratory where the prototype is said to reside. Poppy promises to send the elevator back up for Kissy, but before she can, we hear the sound of Kissy being attacked. However, it is now too late to turn back, and Kissy's fate is left unknown, for now.
We're coming! Just hold on! Come on, go faster!
She's gone.
Kissy!
She's dead. Sorry, Poppy.
In the eerie, still halls of a Playtime schoolhouse resides a terrifying teacher known as Mr. Light, a human-sized living doll with a broken face, exposing a fleshy skull beneath. But Mr. Light didn't always look this way. In fact, if we hack outside the game world, we can find an unused character model. This model reveals how Mr. Light originally looked before she was attacked by her sisters, who also acted as teachers at this schoolhouse. We learn about Mr. Light's sisters from both a snippet that plays during the Hour of Joy VHS, where we can see these teachers attacking Playtime co-employees, and from this cutout here.
Hello, students. Find my sisters and I to learn facts across a variety of subjects. Press my button to hear some facts on anatomy.
Mr. Light has a tragic, twisted backstory, relayed to the player via a series of notes that they can collect up while exploring the schoolhouse. These notes explain how after the Hour of Joy, someone or something locked Mr. Light and her sisters inside the school. Slowly, the teachers began to go crazy, isolated from contact with the outside world. They then began to starve. Mr. Light suspected she would be the first to be killed by her sisters as they each began to turn on one another, and she was right. She was savagely attacked, leaving her in a mutilated state. She then crafted a weapon to protect herself, made from string, pens, and a ruler, and named this
badass weapon.
Barb. From that point on, Mr. Light believed that Barb was speaking to her. She completely snapped, and now took orders from the weapon she crafted in her desperate bid for survival.
Okay.
Barb told her to kill the other teachers and eat them in order to survive starvation. And so she did. Then, one day, the doors of the schoolhouse eventually opened, and there stood Catnap. Mr. Light knew it was he who had sealed them inside, and it is suggested from an audio log that Catnap did this to protect the orphan children of the Playcare.
Please, where are the children? Are they in the same place as the employees?
No.
Are the children safe?
Yes.
Oh. Can I see them?
No.
No.
And that was it. That's all he'd tell me. Probably because he knew I'd kill them all.
Oh.
Oh, that's so disturbing.
Now Mr. Light and Catnap work together to carry out the wishes of the prototype, who holds control over both. Mr. Light can only move when we turn away from her or the lights go out. Therefore, after she gives chase, the player must rush away as fast as possible without breaking their line of sight. Eventually, after a lengthy game of cat and mouse, we are able to escape the school and crush Mr. Light under a shutter, bringing her reign of terror to its conclusion.
Nice. Smiling critters. Well, they don't seem so bad.
The Smiling Critters were originally designed as a line of plushie toys with scented sprays that fitted into compartments within their zip-up bellies. Each critter contained a different scent, and by pulling the drawstring on their backs, the nozzle in their mouthpiece would spray out a soothing aroma that helped children around the world sleep by night. That is, aside from Catnap, who according to a news report gave children vivid hallucinogenic nightmares, leading to the toy being recalled and scrubbed from all advertisements.
Parents across the country report their children experiencing strange and often violent nightmares. And beside them, their little, grinning Catnap doll. Now, with controversy growing, Playtime Co. has announced the recall of all Catnap toys from the Smiling Critters line. His image cleared from all promotional material.
The Smiling Critters was so popular, they even had their own TV show at one point. There were 8 critters in total: Catnap, Dog Day, Hoppy Hopscotch, Bubba Bubbafunt, Bobby Bear Hug, Pig Patch, Crafty Corn, and Kickin' Chicken.
Like Crafty Corn.
Each of these characters received their own bigger body living version within Playtime Co.'s secret research laboratory. However, only 2 remain alive during the story that unfolds during Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, Catnap and Dog Day. There are also miniature living versions of the critters who we encountered during the Playhouse segment of our adventure. These tiny minions follow Catnap's every command, hunting down anyone who defies him, branding them as heretics. They crawl from holes in the floor and walls and must be repelled with the flare gun in order to avoid a nasty jump scare. While Catnap patrols for Playcare, hunting down anyone left alive and obeying the prototype's every command, Dog Day defied the prototype and so was captured and imprisoned by Catnap in the holding cells below the Playcare, where the bigger bodies were once contained by Playtime's scientists. We find Dog Day chained up and tortured by Catnap. He explains how the cat now controls the Playcare under the prototype's command and urges us to leave before it's too late.
You're Pappy's angel. Come to save us. Nothing left to save. Not here. You're at Catnap's home, Angel. Their home. A myriad pairs of eyes are on you now. Watching, waiting, hungry. They want nothing more than to crawl beneath your skin and eat away at you bit by little bit. Fill what feels empty inside themselves. That thing. Catnap. The prototype is his god, and this is what he does to heretics. These little toys follow Catnap to avoid that very fate.
Yeah, it's a shitty fate.
They are fed. We try to fight it. The prototype's control. I am the last of the smiling critters. Listen to me. You need to get out of this place. You need to live. You and Poppy could fix this. End this madness. The torments. Oh no. Oh no. Leave me. Please. Just go. Run!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The mini critters then crawl into Dog Day's body and possess him, using his corpse to chase down the protagonist as they make a mad dash for the exit. While exploring the Playcare, we come across many different cardboard cutouts, each one representing a different smiling critter who has a cryptic and sinister story to tell. Take a listen to each and every one and see if you can work out the hidden meaning behind their mysterious dialogue.
I'm Bubba Bubbaphant. Hey, I remember you. An elephant always remembers.
Yeah.
Want to know what I remember about you?
Okay.
I'm Chicken. Want to go outside and hang out?
No thanks.
It's looking pretty bad outside. I've never been outside before. Will you come with me? I'm scared. Here, follow me. I'll step out first.
They all ended screaming?
I don't think so.
Darth Vader?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Luke, I am your father.
I know. I think it's supposed to be snoring? Because Catnap?
I don't know a cat that sounds like that.
Are you hungry? Is that your belly?
Piggy, let's eat. Roast beef, delicious. Grilled chicken, down the hatch.
Because you're not so picky, are you?
Elephant, yum. Splayed unicorn,
Uh-oh.
Still hungry. Hey, what do you say you and I be friends?
You ate some of your friends?
Who's gonna eat this?
Yeah.
I'm Hoppy Hopscotch. Wanna try hopping to the moon with me? On three
Because you're
with
hopped up
me.
on drugs? No, thank you.
1, 2, 3. Heh, didn't get very far, did we? Again. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Still didn't make it. Listen, this won't stop until we make it to the moon. 1, 2. No, don't look at your feet. None of that matters. Again. Jump.
Happy Hopscotch trying to escape?
Says fetch.
Yeah.
Go, as far as you can. Why are you just standing there?
Go leave.
You can't be here. You can't stay.
None of them ended in screaming. The 3 ended in screaming. You're trapped.
Oh my god. Doggy Days goes on for a long time.
I'm Crafty Corn. Can you help me with my painting? Pass me the blue, please.
Sure, Crafty Corn.
Thanks. Now, can you give me some red? More red, please. Out? But we can't be out. You're hiding more red from me. I know you are.
Why would I
Give
be?
it here!
Okay.
Yeah.
We briefly touched on catnap earlier in this video, so let's wrap things up by taking a closer look at this ferocious feline. The origins of catnap's bigger body form have been relayed to us both via an exchange with a mysterious child Ollie, as well as via an ARG from Mob Entertainment, which ran ahead of Chapter 3's launch. We learned that the person trapped inside catnap's bigger body was once an orphan child under Playtime's care named Theodore Grambel. Theo formed a close connection with the prototype, who enlisted his help to try and escape the factory. The prototype persuaded Theo to steal a pair of grab packs, with the pair then attempting to flee the facility. Unfortunately, during their escape, Theo was electrocuted while using said grab pack, and was then rescued by the prototype, who returned him to the Playcare so his life could be saved by the medical team. Playtime then performed a surgery on the wounded child, using him to bring Catnap to life. Theo, now living on as Catnap, began to worship the prototype like a god, thinking of him as his savior and carrying out the entity's every wish. We witness this firsthand during this sequence, where we see Catnap worshipping before a giant shrine constructed in the prototype's honor. By listening to an audio log located within the playhouse, we learn that Catnap was neglected by Playtime Co., locked inside a prison cell beneath the Playcare, and only allowed out on rare occasions to see the orphan children. Take a listen to this conversation between Catnap and Head of Innovation, Leif Pierre.
Okay, this is Catnap, experiment number 1188. What's his real name again? Ah, okay. Hey, Theo. How you doing, bud? Normally I'd have Dr. Sawyer do this, but he's, out, let's say. So you got me until they find his replacement. First off, congrats. This is officially your 4th year in your new body, and you've made some real progress, pal. I was told that when you and the other smiling critters, you know, Dog Day, Picky Piggy, yada yada yada, were added into Playcare, that you weren't really getting along too well with the kids like everybody else was. But look at you now. The kids love you, and that red smoke, I mean, that's fantastic, isn't it? Is his, voice thingy still broken?
Okay.
Nobody's gonna save you. This prison is where you belong. We'll let you out here and there to go see the kids in Playcare, but your home is here. And as for the prototype, his home is in the labs. This is your life now. Get used to it.
Catnap is able to dispel a substance known as the red smoke from his mouthpiece. This powerful hallucinogen causes those who come into contact with it to fall into a deep sleep, at which point they experience vivid nightmares. The red smoke is essentially a sleeping gas, one used to sedate the orphans at the Playcare by night so they could be taken away for testing by Playtime Co. scientists. At the beginning of Chapter 3, Catnap pulls the protagonist from the burning wreckage of the train they crashed in during the events of Chapter 2, and deposits them down a garbage chute into a trash compactor. As we explore the Playcare, we often catch sight of this terrifying beast, stalking us through its halls. At the end of a chapter, Catnap exposes the player to his red smoke, and then transforms into a series of nightmarish visions. Players must then use the flare gun to identify which Catnap is the real deal, and then shock him by activating steam pipes around the environment. Eventually, we are able to power up a terminal and electrify the hand of our grab pack.
Nice.
Using the current to electrocute Catnap, which
Shock
then
key.
sets him on fire.
Awesome.
Catnap manages to barely survive, but is badly wounded.
Ooh, it's still
At
alive.
this point, the prototype reaches down from a hatch above and claims
Saves again.
Catnap just as he did Mommy in Chapter 2. It seems Theodore welcomes this union, laying down his life as he welcomes the prototype's embrace of death, dying in the arms of his hero. And
Okay.
with that, we come to the end of this look at each and every monster found within the story of Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it both entertaining and informative. If you did, remember to leave a like, comments down below, and of course subscribe for more horror-related content.
All right, so it's cool checking those monsters in Poppy's Playtime. For me, Miss Delight was the freakiest.
Yeah, she got me too.
Yeah, and just like that, her weapon too, with like the homemade, the pencils and like oh yeah.
Pencils, yarn, and a ruler. All
Yeah.
things you might find in a teacher's desk. Her face, her messed up face is so freaky. But I think what's really stuck in my brain, besides the face, is that laugh.
Mm-hmm.
When she's laughing and then talks about how like they kept her away from the kids, and she laughs again and she goes, probably because they knew I'd kill them all.
Yeah.
And then laughs again and like, oh, like, don't be wrong. The whole, you know, Hannibal Lecter type of serial killer, the Michael Myers, the Jason Voorhees, like the psychopaths
Mhm.
and the sociopaths, they're all freaky. But like there is just something about putting a laugh on top of that that makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, I think, also just something to society and gender norms and the way we were raised, but like there's also something creepier about it being a woman. There just is. Women we always think of, and this is society and stereotypes, we always think of them as being nurturing, maternal, like, you know, if you're ever a kid and you're lost, you tend to go up to a woman before you go up to a strange
Mhm.
man. And so the fact that like a woman laughing about killing all the kids, like there's something that's more unsettling about that, and it kind of gets under your skin.
Yeah. After Miss Delight, I'd say Huggy Wuggy for me. I thought was super creepy. Just when he's like chasing you, and all the teeth that he has, the long limbs. Like, I mean, you know, we're not obviously fans of spiders and bugs and stuff like that. So Mommy Longlegs.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
That's your number 2?
Yeah.
That'd be number 3 for me. But like, I don't know. There's also something like her face, like just like was kind of cute. Like where she didn't have like the strange teeth that Huggy Wuggy had. So I think that's why I wasn't as creeped out by her.
See, for me, it was the fact that like as you're running through, you see like the hands coming up and like
Yeah,
that,
I thought that
just
was
that
cool.
knowledge that like you can run as fast as you want. She doesn't need to run fast to keep up with you. She can just reach out to you and get you. That like wasn't something. And then also the fact of like, if you're being like her preconceived notion of you being that idyllic child that makes her a good mother. And yet when you're not behaving like she turns on you in that way, it's more psychological stuff, but that just like, that freaks me out.
It reminded me of the teacher in Little Nightmares 2, that like had the head that like
yeah.
would stretch
Ooh,
out and
yeah.
everything like that. Yeah, so that was super creepy.
Yeah, very much so.
And I mean, like obviously you can't help but think of Five Nights at Freddy's and like with the kids in the costumes of the monsters that come to life. You know, I mean, but like that happens with lots of things. I mean, you know, they always say there's no original ideas since Shakespeare or whatever.
That's what they say, at least as far as like story plots and all go.
Mhm.
They did a very good job making sort of those dated kid commercials that were sprinkled in there. And so I was like,
Yeah.
it's like, was this actually a real toy? Like, it's making me think that. So it was very successful in terms of like the assets in here to make the world real to you. So if I were doing like the elevator pitch for Poppy's Playtime, I'm like, it's Chucky meets Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just haven't figured out what the Poppy angle is on it. Like how I would put that into the sort of like elevator pitch. Like who's the little savior doll? Like what? I'm like, where did that come from? Where did they borrow from? Like I know there's a place that they borrowed it from. I'm like, I feel like I've seen this somewhere before, but in my brain, I can't place it right now.
Yeah, and then like Annabelle, but if Annabelle was like on your side instead of trying to murder you.
Yeah, Annabelle's really freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. My brain can't put Annabelle in a non-freaky category. Like she's too scary.
And then the critters.
And Doggy Day. Oh,
Doggy
that
Day.
was the worst.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
That was pretty horrible, pretty horrifying.
Especially because like dogs are so loving and protective of their people and will actually be self-sacrificing in that way. So like to see him chained up and be like, go get out of here. And then the critters, I mean,
yeah.
So unsettling. And then I found it interesting how we talked about how like the prototype is Catnap's god, and the reason that Doggy Daycare was being tortured was because he was considered a heretic by Catnap. And then further along, Catnap says a line about the prototype, and I can't remember what the words were now, but as we were listening, I was like, oh, that is so scary. I mean, it was something along the lines of like, you know, the prototype told me to kill you, or it was something like that. But the voice and the delivery of that line was so perfect that it made it so scary. So yeah, very, very unsettling.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments, and go check out our poll for next Wildcard Wednesday in our community section. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for all the monsters in chapters 1 through 3 of Poppy's Playtime, which keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.